So let me just do my intro and then I'll get into you. All right. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Simple Truth Television. Today is September 16th, 2024. Earlier today, I posted something, and a gentleman, he reached out in the comment section and he wrote that he wanted to have a debate, but actually what he said was that everything that I'm putting out there is basically misinformation. So I reached out to him in a DM and I asked him to do a debate or have a conversation. And I also said that if he was able to prove that what I'm showing every day is false and misinformation, that I would pay him $100. So I'm saying that here in the video. And the way we're gonna judge this, we're gonna have the people who are watching this video. If you guys want to call in at the end, you guys can say, you know what, his name is actually Joey. Is that your name, Joey? His name is Joseph. So if you guys feel like Joseph is right and I'm wrong, you guys can call in. And if he gets more votes, guess what? I'll pay him right on here. I'll pay him $100 if he can prove, without a doubt, that what I teach every single day is misinformation. That I am truly misleading people by the things that I post on Instagram and on YouTube. All right. So let me just screen share so you guys can see. And first, we're gonna get to know Joseph, so to see where he's from and what led him. How did he find his work? So how you doing, Joseph?
My man, I'm blessed. Every single day, I'm doing phenomenal. How about yourself?
Well, I really appreciate that you took the time to have this interview with me or this debate, because a lot of people don't do that. And the reason I reached out to you is because I didn't feel like you was a troll. A lot of people do leave a lot of comments under my posts, but your comments stood out to me because you seem like somebody that was really concerned about the stuff that I was posting. Is that true?
I absolutely am concerned about these things, sir.
Okay. So how did you find my YouTube channel or my Instagram?
Like I told you a little bit earlier, I was in an Uber one time. The Uber driver had a couple signs in his back seat. This young man honestly, he was a very nice, endearing young gentleman. One of the signs in the back seat said to open your eyes. The movies are lying to us, predicting certain things. And then he had your YouTube channel up. What did you say it was again?
Simple Truth
TV. Simple Truth TV. He had your YouTube up, so I went to check.
Okay.
When I started checking, I was like, man, it didn't vibrate properly with me. As a person who's been on a spiritual journey for over 20 years now, it did not vibrate with me. I did a little deep dive on what you were saying, and I want to say this was back in 2021.
Oh, so you've been following me for
a while. I've checked your page, so here's the scoop. I commented on something you said. One of your followers then got so mad at me that they DM'd me several death threats. They kept trying to call me on Instagram.
First, I want to apologize about that. I don't have any control with what my followers do, and I don't condone any of that. If you notice, I will never. You never heard. You never got a message from me with any of that stuff, right?
No. It's the first time you've ever messaged me. But I noticed that whatever it was that was being preached, and I've seen it with other people. I've had family members go down this path of where they feel like there's this shadowy government controlling everything. They feel like, oh, my life didn't turn out the way it was supposed to, so that must mean that the Illuminati is actually running things, and they're eating babies, or they're rigging something so that my life is messed up somehow. And it's a terrible way to. I can't tell anybody how to live, and I will never ever tell anyone how to live. But in my opinion, that's not the correct way. That's not a high vibrational level of life.
Okay. So, let me just start by saying this. I don't think that first of all, I want to apologize for my followers. I don't know why they do that. If you guys, those of you, if you are one of those people who do that, I don't know why you guys do that. That's not the right way to go about things. If people are new to this work and they are on the fence, the best way to do it is by showing them examples and having a conversation with them, just like how I'm doing. Telling somebody, I think you should die because you're dumb, or I think you're a sheep and you should die. That's never what I do. I've never made a video threatening anybody. That is never what I do. What I always do is when somebody's on the fence, I try to bring them on and have a conversation. Now, let me tell you something, right? The Illuminati is a real thing. And I know you asked me earlier. Wait, I'm getting some feedback. Am I on the speakerphone? I don't know why I'm getting some feedback, but I'll just continue. Look, the Illuminati is a real thing, right? So, but earlier you said something about some of the things that I pose you believe, and some of the things I pose you don't believe. So, I just want to get clear: what do you believe and what don't you believe?
My man, I don't know that I believe most, like, probably, I'm not sure I believe 99% of what you
Okay,
post.
fine. So you don't believe anything.
I
Okay.
believe you posted, and I believe that, like, say, if we can be in agreements of some things, like, all right, professional sports is entertainment at the end of the day. I know that the league is going to look to, say, if you take the NBA, they're going to be like, hey, referees, it's game 4, it's game 5. We want to extend this to game 7. Give this team that might win the sweep right now a tough time. They
Okay.
might do something.
All right, Joseph, let me tell you
I
something.
don't think that there is a group of people sitting around a table going, hey, today is the 177th day after such and such's birthday, so let's make sure this team gets this score or wins.
Okay.
I don't think that's happening.
Well, Joseph, this is the thing, Joseph. Let me cut you off. The thing is, Joseph, I've proven that multiple times in my channel where that is the case. Let me explain. The thing is this, Joseph. I've not only have I proven it after the fact, I've also made predictions before it happened. That's how I'm able to build this following. And there's been other people in the community who have done the same thing. I actually learned from somebody. I don't know if you heard of him. His name is Zachary Hubbard. He's been actually doing this. He's been doing this since 2013. And even though me and him don't get along, I do recommend that you go to this channel because he has shown a lot of things that I don't even cover in my videos that may persuade you. Maybe you're not into the sports. But let me just give you one example, and then we'll go from there. So actually, this was this year, right? The Celtics won their 18th championship, right? Before they won their championship, I made a video and I spoke about how they're going to win the Eastern Conference on a specific date, and that was the day that Bill Walton actually passed away. Now, I didn't know Bill Walton was going to pass away because I made the video before that day even came. And the reason I knew that the Celtics was going to win win the Eastern Conference that day is because I measured from the death of Bill Russell, and I measured to game 4 of the Eastern Conference, and I told my people the Celtics are going to sweep the Pacers and win the Eastern Conference exactly 666 days after the death of Bill Russell, and that's exactly what happened. And what I didn't know is that Bill Walton ended up dying that day. So then after Bill Walton died, then we looked at all the other pieces, and then I made another video, and I said, oh, you know what? The Celtics are going to win the championship on 6/17. Because then I started noticing how the last 4 players from the Celtics to die, and you can look this up. This is a fact. It was Bill Walton, number 6. It was Havlicek, number 17. These were the last 4 Celtic players to pass away. There was another guy who I don't remember his name, but he died on LeBron's birthday. He wore the number 24. And then, of course, Bill Walton was the last one. He wore the number 5. And then the Celtics, are you listening to me, Joseph?
I'm listening.
The Celtics, just hold on. I need you to focus, Joseph. The Celtics ended up winning the championship on 6/17/24 in 5 games. The 4 numbers that all 4 of those players wore while they was in their NBA careers. 6, Bill Russell. Havlicek, number 17. The other guy, I don't remember his name, but number 24. Again, he died on LeBron's birthday. You can look it up. And then Bill Walton awarded number 5. And of course, 6/17 is the Boston area code. I mean, I'm making these videos before it's happening, Joseph. I'm predicting this in advance. I'm not waiting for it to happen, and then I'm coming out and saying, oh, look, I think they won because the area code is 617. No, we are calling this in advance. You understand? Are you following me?
No, I hear you. So you're saying that it's divine intervention?
Listen, this is what I'm saying, right? Every player is participating in a script, and this script is being handed to them by the Jesuit order. Now, how do I know this for sure? It's because of the documentation. Every year they've been doing this every single year, and that's how we are able to. Well, I have a blog, Joseph. I have a blog with over thousands of posts. I post every single day. Even on my Instagram, I post every single day. I document everything every single year. Every single year is the same pattern. For example, the number 213, that is a huge number in the NBA. Every single year, literally, Joseph, I'm not even lying. Every year, that number shows up in the NBA Finals, 213. When the Raptors won the NBA Finals, they clinched the Eastern Conference 213 days before Drake's birthday. Drake wasn't the biggest headline during those finals, Joseph. He was in every game sitting courtside with a Del Curry jersey. Just recently, they had Big Poppy sitting courtside going to all the Celtics games. We noticed that 617 was 213 days after his birthday. And he was going to the games wearing a 617 hat in a 617 area code. And then what happened on game 5? The Celtics win on the championship on 617. None of this stuff is a coincidence because it's happening every single year. Every single year.
Let me just make sure I'm understanding this. I'm getting this straight. You believe that, and I don't know. You said the Jesuit order.
Yeah, the Jesuit order is truly the ones behind all this.
So you think the Jesuit? I don't know anything about the Jesuit order. You think they're sitting around and planning for all of these things?
Well, no, these things are already been planned. Like for.
So how long ago are they planning?
Well, to my estimation, I think they're at least 10 to 15 years in advance.
So you think they plan things out 10 to 15 years in advance?
Probably even more than that, Joseph. To be honest, because I even noticed like when the pandemic happened, we was going back and noticed, and you was talking about the predictive programming. Actually, to be honest, I think it's more than that because in 1968, if you want to talk about September 11th, think about it. September 11th happened 33 years after it was built, after the towers was built, right? So I know I'm saying 10 to 15 years, but it's probably even more than that because I truly believe that in 1968, when the towers were built, they already knew that it was going to bring them down on 33 years later. I truly believe that. So they're planning this stuff way in advance. I can't give you a number because I don't know, but it is at least 30 to 35 years. Because I could use 9/11 for example.
So here's where we differ then. Here's where we differ. Because I believe in something called a perfect storm. Whereas the universe has things planned. And now I know some people call it God. I call it the universe. The universe has things planned that coincide perfectly.
Joseph, that cannot happen every single time, Joseph. Every single time that it can. Okay, Joseph. So okay, so this is the thing, Joseph. How am I, Joseph?
Everything happens at exactly the time it's supposed to happen.
Joseph, how am I predicting things in advance, Joseph? Am I God?
I predicted things as well. That doesn't mean I know that there's an order behind things. I predicted that the Chiefs would win the Super Bowl over the Eagles because, and I had a cockamamie thought at the time, was because I think that America itself isn't ready for a fully black QB to win the Super Bowl.
But that doesn't make sense because there's been black quarterbacks who win, like Russell Wilson.
That's what I'm saying. Though. You say what I say doesn't make sense.
But no, that doesn't make sense because I could disprove it, Joseph. Russell Wilson is fully black, and he won the Super Bowl with the Seahawks. Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson's mixed. Russell Wilson is from my hometown of Richmond, Virginia. He went to an all-white private school called Collegiate. He's mixed.
What is he mixed with?
He's black and white.
Wow, this is news to me. I did not know he was white. But so you're saying that
look at his hair, but he's also incredibly accepted by the white community.
That doesn't make you white because you're accepted by the white community, Joseph.
So the mass of vibration and energy put towards something or what can be accepted by the universe will generally happen.
Okay, Joseph, this is the thing, Joseph.
And this coming from someone, so you say predictive programming, right? And this is where it hits me personally. I have been screenwriting for the past 15 years. I've written tons of movies, television show pilots. I've only had a few things produced, mostly in the small comedy realm. And I don't write things in the sense of, oh, I think this is gonna happen. But as a
So what about the creators who? Wait, hold on. What about the creators of The Simpsons? You don't think they write stuff? So you think The Simpsons are just?
here's what I'm getting to. Let me finish, my man. Because I'm on this path as a journeyman, you start to unlock a certain magic about the world where you might I see things differently than other people, just like you see things differently than other people, right? Which is why you have a platform. But generally, because I see things in a different way, I might write about them in a different way. So I see how society does this or does that, and I take note of it. I regurgitate it back out the way I see fit as a writer. Now, to say that I'm going to write something to plant something uh, into the world's future, that is the personal choice of the writer. Now, me as a writer, if I wanted to get people away from conspiracy theories, I would absolutely put that in a movie. There's no reason you wouldn't, because movies are like dreams. And if you watch a film with the lights down low and there's a message in there for you, it's probably going to reach your subconscious more than it is anything else. So, of course, people do these things, but it's not just some one order of people going, well, this, and this, and this. It's incredibly difficult to get a movie made, first off. And there are so many different competing companies that want your time and attention and money that there is no way there's just one set group of people deciding what gets put out and what doesn't get put out. Otherwise, they would not let us have streaming. They wouldn't let Kai Cenat sit there and stream to millions of kids. They would put a stop to that immediately. We live in a new age, an age of Aquarius, where things are going to start moving forward. High vibrational thinking, high vibrational feeling, critical thinking, critical seeking. What I believe you are seeing with the numbers is confirmation bias and apophenia.
All right, Joseph, I gotta stop you. I gotta stop you. Joseph. This is the thing, Joseph. These numbers, they get used over and over and over again, and they're no. These numbers are repetitive, and they get used. Like I said, listen to me, Joseph. You're not listening. You're not. Joseph, just hear me out. Like I told you earlier, when it comes to the NBA Finals, the number 213. I'm not talking about every number. I'm not talking about the number 5 or the number 7. I'm talking about the specifically the number 213. It gets used every single year, Joseph. This year, when the NBA Finals, wait, Joseph. This year, when the upcoming NBA Finals, there's going to be another 213 ritual, and we're going to show you how. Look, this happened 213 days from this event. Because it's happening every single year. When the Heat went, you gotta let me finish, Joseph, so that we don't talk over each other. When the Heat went to the finals against the Nuggets, the last time those two teams played in the regular season, it was on February 13th. And then the NBA Finals started 213 days after Eric Spoelstra's birthday, the head coach of the Miami Heat. And the finals on the day leaving 213 days after the year. That's every single year that number shows up in the NBA Finals. Every single year on the nose. I just made a prediction earlier this year that I said that Jackie Robinson's
Who won that finals?
It was the Denver Nuggets, and it was synced up with the.
So what coincided with the 213 that said the Nuggets would win?
No, the 213 was showing us who was going to be in the NBA Finals. It was showing us that the Heat was going to be in there.
What you're telling me is have you won every bet you placed?
The thing is, let me explain something to you, right? I have not won every bet that I've placed, but that's because these riddles are riddles, which means we have to solve it. And a lot of times it gets very difficult to solve because, again, these are mathematical equations. that we don't know all the answers to because we're on the outside looking in. For example, if I show you the movie Scarface, and even though that movie is scripted, right? The people who created that movie know the ending, right? The producers know the ending. But if I show you that movie and I say, look, this is another gangster movie about a drug dealer, I want you to predict how it's going to end. I'll probably show you 5 movies and you'll probably predict 4 out of those 5 correctly. Are you going to predict all 5 of those? Because you know why you won't predict all 5 of those correctly? Because you're on the outside looking in. You haven't seen those movies. But guess who has seen those movies? The actors, the producers, and the directors. They know the ending. You see, the Jesuit order and these leagues, they know the ending of these sports games. Guess who doesn't know the ending? Us, because we're on the outside looking in. But we are using a code that we've noticed that they use to figure out what the ending is going to be. No, we cannot get everything right, and it is impossible because we're on the outside looking in. But there's certain things that we've pointed out that are amazing, that are impossible to predict, like the deaths of people, which I've done in my channel. I've made videos showing why this person is gonna die on this day. I am not a psychic. I don't do any witchcraft, and I'm not guessing.
So, when you said that Damar Hamlin passed away on a certain date last year, and you broke down the Gematria number for that.
No, I did not say he passed away. Hold on. I said.
And then the next day it came out that he did not die.
No. That was. Let me explain to you. When the Damar Hamlin stuff happened. All right, tell me what's the odds of him having the same birthday as the only guy to die on the field? He happened to have there's only been one NFL player to ever die on the field, and him and Damar Hamlin happened to have the same exact birthday. What are the odds of that?
I don't have those numbers right off the top of my head.
Well, the odds is unbelievable. But this is what I showed with the Damar Hamlin stuff. You see, the way your body language is like you don't want to hear what I'm trying to say. You're blocking off the information that I'm trying to give you, Joseph.
You're absolutely right. My body language is
because you're not. That's why I'm saying. I don't have that same body language when you speak, Joseph.
no, of course not.
Joseph, when you
It doesn't resonate with me.
all right, Joseph, when you're speaking to me, I don't have that body language because I'm listening to you. See, that's the difference between.
I can't even see you.
Okay, can you see me now?
No, you had your phone down. I see a fish, bro.
Oh, my bad. It's just I don't want it to be double camera. The people on the screen on YouTube can see me. You can see me now, though.
I can see you.
All right, look. Going back to Damar Hamlin, right? I made a prediction. I said, you know what? Being that this ritual is connected to the only person to die on the field, I am thinking that that's what they're going to do with Damar Hamlin. They're probably going to sacrifice him, just like how they did with the other guy that died on the field because he had the same birthday, and it's clearly a tribute to that person. You see, I was making an educated guess. Now, was I wrong? Absolutely. But what I also showed other things with that ritual. I showed how the ambulance that came on the field had it was a fake ambulance. It wasn't a real ambulance from that area. I showed a real Cincinnati ambulance and an ambulance that pulled up on the field. Look them up. Look up the photos. There are 2 different ambulances. I also showed how.
Don't they use different health services for those events?
But it had nothing. It had.
I've worked at SoFi Stadium before. They use a different health service than LA emergency systems.
Okay, I'm gonna show you the ambulance. I'm gonna show you the ambulance that they showed that pulled up to the field. You tell me if this is an actual ambulance. Like the things that these people are doing to us is like they're playing with it, like they're making a mockery out of our intelligence. Like if you see this, you shouldn't even like think twice that this is fake. I just told you this is the Jesuit order. We got Pope Francis. We got the Arturo Sosa, who's the general of the. I mean, look it up. I mean, this stuff is all. Look, Arturo Sosa. You don't know who Arturo Sosa is? Okay, so who's they? I'm gonna explain to you who they is, right? So Arturo Sosa, he's they, the Superior General of the Society of Jesus. Pope Francis, the current Jesuit Pope. That's who they are. Everything that happens is around them. When the Warriors went to the finals, it was synced up with Pope Francis, and we showed all of that. The Warriors ended up playing the Celtics on his birthday. Then the NBA Finals synced up with the Pope. Pope Francis equals 175. The Celtics lose the championship to the Warriors. They fall to 17-5 in finals. Golden State equals 175. Everything is synced up with the Pope. Every single ritual. The Damar Hamlin stuff. I don't know if it's on the top of my head, but look it up. Look at my notes. Everything has been synced up with the Pope. Yesterday, Tito Jackson passed away 44 weeks after the Superior General's birthday. Tito equals 44. Jackson equals 44. The word kill, execution, 44. That's who they are. Arturo Sosa, Pope Francisco.
Okay, and what do they gain by doing this?
Well, it's religion. It's a religion. That's just to top it off. It's a religion. It's a belief. They believe in Kabbalah. You ever heard of Kabbalah?
I've heard of the Kabbalah. I don't know anything about it.
Well, look, you have to look into Kabbalah. They believe that God created the world with letters and numbers. They are playing God over the masses. So the way to control people is by pretty much creating a fake matrix around them to keep them submissive. That's how you're able to control millions of people, having them brainwashed, keeping them paying attention to the sports games while they over here doing this to the masses. Like creating hurricanes by the numbers, like creating earthquakes by the numbers, like creating fake pandemics, like creating this while everybody's paying attention to the Chiefs and the Bengals. Everybody's at the sports games. Guess what the Superior General is doing? Guess what Pope Francis is doing? They're planning the next hoax, the next false flags, the next Eric Garner. So that way, next thing you know, every cop is walking around with a police camera on their body. Less freedom for us. How did the police get to wear all these cameras? Guess how they did it? They did it with all of these fake rituals. Eric Garner, I can't breathe. George Floyd, I can't breathe. That's how they've been able to pull this off. Everywhere you go now, there's a camera. How did they pull this off? By having all these fake rituals. That's why we're trying to expose it. We're trying to wake people up. Listen, you need to wake up. Eric Garner is an actor. George Floyd is an actor. Don't fall for that shit. It's fake. Because guess what's happening? Everybody's falling for it. Guess what everybody did after the George Floyd riots? Everybody started breaking windows, robbing stores. That's what they want. And then here come the police. Less rights for us. More cameras. Less liberties. We got to take your guns away. We got to put more cameras in your neighborhoods. Police have to walk around with cameras. So now we can't even piss in the street because now they got us on camera now.
Why would you want to piss in the street?
I'm just an example, Joseph. Just an example.
Truthfully, I think we have many more rights than we've had ever before.
We have more rights now?
It's so. I'm pretty sure they had people as slaves back in the day.
And you don't think you're a slave today? You don't think you're a slave when they come on the news and say,
"Are you a slave?"
Absolutely. You don't think I'm a slave? But let me explain. You don't think I'm a slave when they said on March 20th, 2020, they said, you know what? Everybody stay in their house. You cannot go outside. If you go outside, you get arrested. That's a fucking slave, Joseph. They told us not to go outside. We couldn't come outside. What?
All the way across the country.
You traveled during the pandemic?
Absolutely, yes. I
drove you went outside during the lockdowns.
On the way. Yes, absolutely.
So that wasn't illegal.
No.
And you're in California. So you broke the law.
Nothing but check the car.
Well, guess what, Joseph? You broke the law because it was illegal to come outside. I can show you the law so you can see it for yourself.
There was no law. There was no law written into.
The California governor had a lockdown, Joseph. Anybody outside after a certain time that was getting arrested, Joseph.
No, they weren't getting arrested. I was in California.
All right, I'm gonna look it up again because you're lying.
Yeah, please do.
All right. 2020 California lockdowns. Law. Okay, here it is. Governor Gavin Newsom issues stay-at-home order. Sacramento. Today, Governor... Hold on, Joseph. Hold on. Today, Governor Gavin Newsom issued a... This was... What day was this? Actually, I'm going to go to the official website from California. So, look, November 21st. In light of an unprecedented rapid rise in COVID-19 cases around California, Governor Gavin Newsom and the California Department of Public Health today announced a limited stay-at-home requiring generally that non-essential work, movement, and gatherings stop between 10 and 5 a.m. in counties in the purple tier. That's the government telling us when and when not to go outside, Joseph. That is slavery.
That's not slavery. So why'd they stop? Why'd they stop doing that?
Well, I mean, what you mean why they stopped?
Exactly, my man. Why would they stop?
You're worrying about when they stop. Why did they start?
Some critical thinking. Why did they stop?
But why did they start?
If they got there, no. If they got there, why would they stop? If they could do all that to us, so why would they stop it? Why would they let us go travel again?
The thing is, right? Everything works around the dates.
Where's the answer?
I'm giving you the answer.
Why did they start again? Why they let us travel?
This is the thing, Joseph. You want me to tell you why Gavin Newsom made a decision? I don't know why. I don't know the answer to. I don't know why they stopped, and I don't know why they started. Why did they start that?
Started to make us slaves.
No, that's not what I said, Joseph. You're putting words in my mouth. I said we are slaves when they can tell us when and when not to go outside, Joseph.
So if
Don't put words in my mouth, Joseph.
hold on. All right, I'm gonna ask you a question. If the law says you can't go murder a person right now inside your house, are you a slave because of that?
The law says you have to pay taxes.
What? I know. Can you answer the question I just posed?
This is the thing, Joseph. I don't believe. I don't believe in. I don't.
You can't answer the question. Okay, got it. I just wanted to make sure you can answer.
No, you're talking about murdering. I don't believe in that. I don't believe somebody should do that. So that you're going against my beliefs.
Can you go drive your car 200 miles down the street?
I can, but would I get arrested? No, I live under a slave system. I'm pretty sure there's places in the world that you can do that. I can't hear you now. I don't know if you're muted.
That's just safety.
What do you mean? So everybody that drives 200 miles per hour drive that?
It's a safety regulation.
Okay, so why do NASCAR drivers do it?
So why did they? Okay.
Answer my question. Answer my question. If it's illegal to drive 200 miles per hour, why do NASCAR drivers do it? Because it's a sport.
It's a safety issue in the sense.
Oh, so but they died. There's been NASCAR drivers that pass away. They've had accidents and died. So why is that allowed? Why is that allowed?
That's a sport.
Oh, so it's okay to do something as long as it's a sport.
In that sense, yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So if the government comes out and says, killing is a sport, so it's okay to kill.
No. There's only how many NASCAR drivers are there?
A lot.
No, give me a number.
I don't know. Well, they are. The thing is, like boxers, you gotta let me talk. We can't be talking over each other, Joseph.
All right, I asked you a question.
You're right. Ask the question.
How many professional NASCAR drivers are there?
I don't know the exact number, Joseph.
Okay, well, let's estimate there are less than 500.
Okay.
Right? Can you agree with that number?
Okay.
How many drivers in America are there driving on the public roads?
That's not answering my question, Joseph.
I just asked you a question. I'll get to my point. I want to ask that question.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know how many drivers. I don't know a number.
Let's say more than 10 million.
Okay.
And out of that 10 million, probably 2 are trained thoroughly to drive at those speeds in a controlled environment and sanctioned environment. Okay, that's why NASCAR. That's why sports can do certain things. Yes.
Okay.
So boxing.
Now let me ask you something.
Because they're on a license.
Let me ask you something.
They agree to do such a thing.
Okay.
We're not slaves, man. This is what I'm trying to do. I want to wake people up.
You're not a slave. You're not a slave, Joseph. You're not a slave. But you told me you couldn't do this debate because you had to be at work.
And what am I doing? I'm doing a debate because I chose to end up doing it instead because I'm not a slave, my man. Don't you get that through your head?
So you're not a slave even though you told me you couldn't do it because you had to go to work? So you don't have to go to work ever.
But I'm doing it though.
So let me ask you something. So why do you go to work?
I choose to go to work. I choose
really?
to write at 5 p.m.
I choose to start my writing day at 5 p.m.
Why do you choose
That's
to do
my
that?
choice.
Why is that? That's
If
not.
I stick, if I decide, see, here's where you're wrong. Here's where you just messed up, because I choose to do a certain thing. I like to stay on my regiment because writing is incredibly difficult. If you do not stay regimented, you will not be good at it.
So
I don't know
you
if you know
so
that or
so
not. I don't know if you ever written a full length screenplay before,
my question
but it
is,
is incredibly difficult.
do you do it because you need to maintain? You're full of shit, Joseph. The reason you go to work is because you have to pay your bills. That's the bottom line.
All right, man.
Yes or
Okay.
no? Yes or no?
I don't.
You don't have to pay your bills. You don't have to support yourself.
My girlfriend can pay my bills if she wants.
See, you're full of shit, Joseph.
How am I full of shit?
Because you go to work to support.
You told me before we started you wouldn't get disrespectful.
Well,
You just went off on
I
me.
don't mean no disrespect about it. I'm just saying that's just a
Well,
full of shit
you're
answer.
no disrespect by saying I'm full of shit. I never said you were full of shit.
All right, I apologize. You're right about that. But I think that answer is bullshit. With all due respect, I think that
How
answer
is
is
the answer bullshit? Would you like to see one of the scripts I'm writing right now?
the reason. All right, Joseph, we're getting off topic, Joseph.
Okay, let's get back on topic.
Okay.
Prove to me how every celebrity death is a ritual killing.
I do that. I've done that in every single video that I've put out.
Okay, that's not how debates work.
Okay.
You don't go on the stage with a debate with someone and go, look at all my past.
All right. So where do you? Okay, Joseph, where do you want me to start? Okay, name me a celebrity that passed away, and if I can remember correctly, I will break down what was so ritualistic about that person's death. Go. Name anybody off the top of your head that you remember. Kobe Bryant.
I'm not. Why would I just do the suggestion you gave me?
All right. Bill Russell.
I'm not gonna do Bill Russell, man.
All
What
right.
are you
So
talking
name
about?
somebody. Name somebody.
You know what? I'm gonna loft you a softball. Kate Spade.
Who?
Kate Spade. See, this is where your theory has cracked.
All right, but I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is.
Incredibly famous woman.
Okay, name somebody that everybody should know. Everybody at home watching this video.
That's where your theory is cracked. So
You just all right. So if I say do you know Julio Nunez? And you don't know who Julio Nunez? Are you supposed to give me a decode about Julio Nunez, even though you never heard of him? I never heard of this woman, Joseph. Can you give me somebody? That's what I'm saying. That's why I say you're full of shit, Joseph. And again, I don't mean no disrespect. Just name somebody that everybody knows, so I can break down why was so ritualistic about that person's death, Joseph. It's not a hard question.
you can do research. You told me to do some research.
All right, I'll do the research right now. How do you spell her name? I mean, you're making this harder than this. Is what I'm saying. You want me to do a live decode? All right. Okay, spell her name. Nobody can hear you, so just I'm gonna put you back on the mic. Just spell her name real quick. Spaed. Spade what? What's her last name? Okay, got you. Nothing comes up for this name. Was she a fashion designer? Okay, got it. I found her. Okay, I'm gonna do a live decode, and we're gonna take a look at what happened to Kate Spade. It's gonna take a while because again, I've never heard of this woman before you mentioned her. I got you. I'm gonna put the phone next to the speaker, so that way if you say something, people can hear you.
while you're doing that, may I say something?
Yeah, go ahead. People can hear you.
I want to speak to your followers directly.
Go ahead, talk.
Okay? In this new age of Aquarius, as we move into a brand new age of life, I want you all to know that we do not live inside of a matrix. We live inside of a beautiful, incredible, creative world. And you are able to and allowed to do anything up into your personal limits. Do not let, and here's where we can agree. We don't have to watch professional sports at all. Nobody has to watch them. No one's forcing us to watch these things. No one's forcing us to tune in to every rapper that comes out. We don't have to subscribe to this stuff.
It does affect our everyday life, Joseph.
It doesn't have to.
It does, but it does. It does. Because let me explain something to Joseph. It does affect our everyday life because when these hurricanes happen and they flood our cities and thousands of people pass away, those floods they gave us a clue, and it was mainly a lot of times it's through the rappers or through the celebrities. A lot of times we can see what's coming by just studying what happened to the latest rapper to pass away. Like when that guy Takeoff passed away, we saw what was coming after that. Like when Kobe Bryant died, we saw what was coming after that. We got the pandemic right after that, after he was buried in Corona Del Mar. So that's why we have to pay attention, Joseph, to everything that they do, because they put their clues everywhere.
Say that and I'm going to give you an anecdote. When I was in the military, I was stationed on a ship in Yokosuka, Japan. And I think when we would go out to sea 4, 5, 6 months at a time, no sports. Didn't mean a thing to me. You don't have to pay attention to it. It's entertainment. If you want to pay attention to it, it's entertainment. Take the entertainment from it. Now.
Okay, let me just. All right. I got. Hold on. I'll let you talk. Now let me talk. All right. So this Kate Spade. Have you ever heard me speak about the number 38 in any of my posts? Anytime.
I don't follow your post that closely.
Joseph, man, you're making it so hard for me, man. Hold on, man. Let me get you back on the screen.
What I do understand is that the use of...
Hold on, Joseph. Hold on, because you told me to decode this woman's death, and I did. Now it's time for me to perform. All right, can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay. So you never heard me speak about or post anything about the number 38 before?
I don't know anything about that.
Well, okay. So I probably posted this on Instagram. I don't think so, but I'll definitely have it on my blog. There's a movie cover, a movie poster called Murder by Numbers. And in that movie poster, they coded the number 3 and an 8 right in the cover. They didn't change any of the letter. Actually, I'm gonna show you the cover so that way you can see it on your phone. So that way you don't have to imagine it. You can see it. All right. So let me just minimize this. Right. You know, the reason these movies come out with these titles, because I know you like to write screen. You said you like to screenwrite and all that stuff. But let me show you how all this stuff is all connected. You see the movie poster? They coded the number 3 and the number 8 in the cover of the film. They didn't change the S to a 5. They didn't change the E to a 3. You know, they could have changed the M. They could have made it an upside down 3, but they didn't alter any other number. They just put the 3 and an 8. Why would they do that? Let me explain to you why. It's because in this language of Gematria, all these words. Joseph, you have to listen. Joseph, you cannot just. Oh, okay. My bad. So look, the word death has a value of 38, right? We just spoke about the guy Tito Jackson, right? Tito Jackson, he just passed away. Look, guess what? His name is 38. This is a very faithful number, right? The word murder, right? Murder by numbers. The word murder equals 38, right? The word killing, all these words that have to do with death have a value of 38, right? R.I.P., 38. Even terms like decay, like what happens to your body after you pass away. It just happens to have that value of 38. You know, terms like, there's a lot more. I don't know them off the top of my head, but that's actually more. A lot of these terms that have to do with death, they have this value of 38. And in this movie poster, they put the number 3 and an 8 right in the cover of the film. Murder by numbers, 38. Now, this woman, Kate Spade, she died on June 5th. 2018. Her birthday is Christmas Eve. From her last birthday to the day that she died on June 5th, she died 163 days after her birthday, the 38th prime number. That number shows up all the time. I talked about it all the time. You was on Instagram, right? Let me show you a blog post of something. This is how you could go back, and this is why documenting stuff. If you want me to I'll take your photo down because I posted your photo earlier. But if you feel uncomfortable with that, I'll take it out. But look, this was on September 6th. I posted this on Instagram. All these rappers happen to have a name that equals a 38. Now, you trying to tell me that all these rappers are in their home coming up with these names and they just happen to have identical values? Freeway, King Von, Flow Rider, Prince, Lil Wayne, P&B Rock, Pop Smoke, Rod Wave. All of these rappers have the same numerical value? How is that even possible? And it's because the word rapper equals 38 and 34, just like murder equals 38 and 34. And what usually happens to rappers? Don't they end up in the headlines being shot dead? King Von, P&B Rock, attempt robbery gone wrong. He ended up dead. Pop Smoke, attempt robbery. He ended up dead. All of these rappers, Prince, he put out a song, I Will Die For You, and it ended up dying on 4/21 when you was the 21st letter. All the time, 38 shows up every time. Look, I measured from her birthday, right? From her birthday, again, it's December 4th, 24th. Her last birthday was 2017, right before her death. She died in 2018, 163 days after her birthday, the 38th prime number. It happens every single time with the deaths of these celebrities. Every single time. We're talking about 38. Look, you go to my blog. Look, you go to my blog. This is why documentation matters, Joseph. I'm not just randomly picking numbers. It's the same. That's what I was telling you in the beginning of the video. It's the same numbers over and over again that get used. Look, 38. I bet you there was a 38 in this woman's death. Of course it was. She died on New Year's, right? What does New Year's equal? Equals 38. Her name is Gangsta Boo. Another rap name. Look, I forgot to put her up in that list. Look at this, Joseph. Look. Her name is Gangsta Boo. Look, Joseph, just look. Her name is Gangsta Boo. I did not create her name. That's her name. Her name equals 38, Joseph. She's supposed to be committed suicide on New Year's. What are the odds?
You're using a numerical system.
That I didn't create, that I didn't invent.
But it can't be proven.
It's proven through, what do you mean?
Do you subscribe to the Nation of Islam or the Supreme Mathematics?
Joseph, you're not paying attention, Joseph. This is why this conversation.
I just asked a question. I'm paying attention to you.
All right, Joseph, are you listening to what I'm saying, Joseph? The number 38
I hear you.
gets used over and over again. I just showed you another example of another woman that has nothing to do with the fashion world. Her name is Gangsta Boo, and she's on that list as well with the names that they equal 38.
So all of those people have been killed ritualistically. That's what you're telling me.
So yes, this is the thing, Joseph. If I put your name in the calculator, your name doesn't equal 38.
Put my name in the calculator.
All right.
Because I feel like I've seen
Look. Is this how you spell your name? Yeah. Look, your name equals 73, 28, 89, and 26. Now give me a random name. A random name.
No, what is that? Tell me what that means.
It means nothing. Because guess what? Well, it depends. Because if there's a celebrity called Joseph, what will and most likely will happen is they'll die in connection to these numbers. Either they'll die at the age of 28 or they'll die on July 3rd because their name equals 73. That's what we've been noticing, these patterns. Right? But give me a random name. Let's see if it equals 38. Just say any name. We could try 50 names. They won't equal 38. Michael. There's no 38 there, Mike. No 38 in Michael. Give me another name. There's no rappers named Michael though in the industry. Is there a Michael in the music industry, Joseph?
Mike Terror. Yes, his name is Mike Terror.
Mike or Michael?
This is the thing, though. Everyone has a varying level of fame.
You see that this is what I'm saying. You're switching it because I told what happens. What happens to Joseph? He hung up. Let me get Joseph back on the phone. You see, that's what Joseph does. Joseph, are you there? Joseph. Joseph, can you hear me? No, it was an accident. My bad. Come on, Joseph. I don't do that. Do I look like the person who do that?
Varying levels of fame throughout this entire world, right? So someone that's famous to you might not be famous to me, and reverse. And now someone who's famous in Argentina is not famous to us up here. So you're telling me that Pope Francis and the other person that you named, they are controlling every single celebrity death around the entire globe?
Mostly.
You do understand if you do wait,
Joseph, Joseph, do you realize that the Illuminati is a real thing?
It's not a real thing though.
It is. They have an establishment date.
How can you prove it?
By going on Wikipedia, Joseph. By going on Wikipedia.
So you think if the Illuminati was real, they would allow a Wikipedia page to be up?
The Illuminati was established on May 1st, 1776.
I'm pretty sure I've read that article before, and it was established before that by some guy.
May 1st, 1776, right before the Declaration of Independence, the Illuminati was established.
Where, by who?
All this information is available on Google, Joseph.
It's by Joseph Whitehall.
Yes.
The illuminated ones, right?
Yes. All right. So why are you asking if the Illuminati is real? If you know this stuff.
I watched Zeitgeist when I was in high school too, man. I get it. We all go through these phases because in our lives.
Joseph, you're being in denial. This is why it's hard. It's hard for me to listen to you because every time I make a point, like I just went down the path of all the rappers and celebrities that have this 38 connection, and you didn't have a response to that.
Okay, dog.
Is that a coincidence? Is it a coincidence that all these celebrities have this 38 connection?
Every single player in the NBA is above 6'3" tall. Does that all mean something? Does that all have a special meaning?
Sir,
You're just using numbers.
Sir, listen to me. I'm not using numbers on anything. I'm not saying, look, this person wears a size 5 sneaker. I'm being specific. I'm saying that all these people have in common is that they all have 38 names.
So everybody that's died ever in the history of the world is that 38 names?
No, most of the celebrities that pass away have a 38 connect.
What's the purpose? What does it do to us?
Again, it's Kabbalah. You have to look into the Kabbalah.
So what has it done to you personally? What has it done to you?
Personally?
How has it affected your life? Yeah, personally, how has it affected you?
What exactly?
You tell me, how has it affected you?
What, knowing his knowledge?
Has it made your life worse?
What, knowing his knowledge?
No. Someone dying on a certain day with a 38 in their name. Does it affect you negatively?
It does. It does in certain cases. Like George Floyd and Eric Garner, it does affect me. It did affect me.
Well, but does all of them affect you? Does any of them affect you?
Well, no, I didn't say any. I didn't say all of them.
Those two weren't celebrities, though. They weren't celebrities.
They became celebrities after the ritual.
Tons of people become celebrities after their death, but not everybody does.
Well, I'm telling you about two celebrities. George Floyd was actually a rapper.
So what about Michael Brown? Michael
Brown's death?
Whether you looked up Michael, it doesn't have 38 in it.
The Michael Brown death was definitely a 38 ritual. I could look it up for you again.
But you just looked up the name Michael. You said it doesn't have.
I did not say, but this is the thing, Joseph. You're not listening because every time I'm speaking to you, you're doing all these motions. You're blocking me out. I did not say that everybody's first name equals 38. You have to listen to what I say and then judge and then ask your question. Every celebrity most of the celebrities, right? Listen to the words that I'm using. Most of the celebrities that pass away or most of the rituals that we expose, most of them have a 38 connection. Those are the words that I'm using. Do not say Michael doesn't equal 38 because that's not what I'm saying. Most of them have a 38. We just looked up Kate Spade. She died 163 days after her birthday, the 38th prime number. I showed you how they put a 38 in the cover of the movie Murder by Numbers. I never said that everybody's name equals 38. I said all of those people that I showed you on that screen, they all have this 38 connection. The woman Gangsta Boo, her name equals 38. She ended up dying on New Year's. That's what I'm saying, Joseph.
So what does it do? What are they? What's the purpose?
I answered that in the beginning. It's a form of mind control. It's also, again, like they're playing God over the masses. And again, it's Kabbalah, and it's a belief that God created the world this way. They're playing God over us. Now, I don't know everything about it because I'm not in these societies. There's other secrets. Maybe there's something magical that happens when they do things this way. I don't know everything, Joseph. But because I don't know everything, that doesn't mean that what I am teaching is false and that I'm putting out misinformation. Because that's what you said in your comment.
If you don't know everything about something, that is exactly what that means.
No, misinformation means, hey guys, look, I know the lottery numbers. Give me $100 and I'll tell you who's gonna win what numbers are gonna come out. Oh, the wrong numbers came out. Damn, we'll get them next time. That's somebody that's trying to like swindle people, and that's what you said in your comment. That's what I'm doing. That's not what I'm doing. I'm showing a pattern that goes on every single day. Yeah, go ahead.
You posted today that Andrew Wiggins' father passed away, right?
Andrew Wiggins' father died at the age of 64. Hold on. Absolutely.
Why and how?
The word kill equals 64, right? Every single month on dates with 44 and 64 numerology, we get a death in the news. And guess what? Andrew Wiggins' father, he ended up dying on the kill date of the month, which was September 11th. Actually, I got to look that up because I don't remember the exact day he died. But he did die at the age of 64. I don't know if he died on the kill date, but because I don't think they announced the exact date that he died. But he died at the age of 64. The word kill equals 64. We've been talking about that number every single day. Every month I'm posting somebody's death at the age of 64.
So Pope Francis and someone else decided, hey, on this day.
Well, they decided the day that Andrew Wiggins decided to go to the NBA.
I wasn't even done talking.
They're going to make sure that a very fringe celebrity whose father, we're going to make sure he dies on that day.
Okay, am I able to talk now?
Yeah.
It happens all the time in the NBA. Fathers being sacrificed by players. You want me to go down the line? Michael Jordan. His father ends up dead 33 days after he wins the NBA Finals. He wins the NBA Finals on Father's Day. And guess what? Michael's father ends up dying on the 23rd, like the number his son used to wear. And then what happened to Michael's father? Oh, somebody shot him and then left him in the woods. It happens to all these players that ended up losing their fathers. DeMar DeRozan, Giannis Antetokounmpo, John Wall. He sacrifices his mom. Stephen A. Smith, his mother gone. All suspiciously gone. One day from another. Oh, she's dead at 38. Oh, she's dead at 64. All these basketball players, it's always the same thing with them. It's always their fathers. I got a blog post showing how most of these NBA players, they always losing their fathers. Most of them, or a mother, or a sister. I remember Isaiah Thomas. He lost like 5 family members at once. I remember his.
Okay. And what happened? So
Did he sacrifice them?
Yes, and this is why I think they do it. I don't know for a fact,
So
but
why is he not in the league right now?
Why has he not been in the league?
okay. Let me explain. Let me explain why I think that they do it, and then why he's not in the league. Again, those are things and decisions that were made by them. I don't know the reasons. This is why I think they do it. Again, this is a secret society, right? And I think that the way they are able to control their puppets is by having them make these agreements. Because you have to understand, this is a $1 trillion industry that they're participating in, where there's scamming going on, there's lying going on, deception going on, there's murder going on. So how do we keep all of these players in line? How do we ensure that none of these people are going to run their mouth? Guess what? We sacrifice their father. And if in case they ever run their mouth, we will show on the news that there was the one behind the father's death and throw him in jail. So that's how they keep all of these celebrities in check. Because if you're Pope Francis and Arturo Sosa, what guarantees you that John Wall or Kobe Bryant is not going to expose how the NBA is rigged? How you keep Kobe Bryant in check? Well, guess what? We sacrifice his father, we sacrifice his daughter, and then if he ever runs his mouth, we'll say that it was him behind it. That's why I think they do it. But there might be other reasons.
That's why you think they do it. Okay.
So that's not a proven fact then.
It's not. It's not.
You can't prove to me that it's a fact.
No, I can't. No, I can't. I told you that I can't. But what I can prove, no. But what I can prove,
Debate. You can't. You just said you cannot prove that as a fact.
but what I can prove, you gonna let me talk? What I can prove is that their fathers did not die naturally. That I can prove.
Okay, so now that's where I can't ride with you at all.
Because Joseph, you have listening problems, Joseph. You have listening problems.
Incredibly disrespectful.
What is?
People's families go through all kinds of hardships.
So let me ask you something, Joseph. You think Michael Jordan's father died 33 days after he wins the NBA Finals on Father's Day? Listen, you have to listen, Joseph. He wins the NBA Finals on Father's Day, right? Father's Day. Then his father dies. Is that a coincidence?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a coincidence that Kobe Bryant dies and then in the year 24, his father ends up dying? The number that he used to wear.
Yes.
And so everything I'm going to bring up is just going to be one big coincidence. See, you're the type of person that if a person is standing in the gas station and then you see him, and then you go into the supermarket and you see that same person, and then you go into the barbershop, you see that same person, and then you go into the mall and you see that same person standing there looking at you, you're going to think that's a coincidence that everywhere you go, that person just happens to be there. It's never going to cross your mind that maybe that guy's following you. It's never going to cross your mind.
Why would they be following me? I live in a city with 14.
So that's what I'm saying. If you see the person in the gas station, then you go to a laundromat, the supermarket, the mall, and you see the same person there in all of those spots, it's never going to cross your mind that maybe that guy's following you.
Nobody's following me. So
I'm speaking hypothetically, Joseph. I'm saying.
answer a hypothetical because that doesn't happen.
All right, so I'm saying, what would you think if that was to happen to you?
If that was, I can't answer if that was to happen to me. That hasn't happened. I've met people at different spots before. That doesn't mean they're following me.
So you can't answer a hypothetical question.
So you don't believe in Kismet.
I don't believe in coincidence, no.
You don't believe in Kismet. You don't believe in divine intervention. You don't believe in serendipity.
I don't believe in coincidences.
That is where we completely differ, and we will not.
You believe in coincidences, Joseph, and I don't.
We won't be on the same plane. You can continue thinking what you think. I do believe that is incredibly harmful to talk about people's families that way.
And that's why very few people do it. And that's why they continue to get away with it. That's why they get away with it.
So why would these all-powerful people, right? Why would they continue to let you act the way you do?
What do you mean? I've had my channel deleted. I've had my videos shadow banned. They're trying everything to shut me down.
Why do they continue to let you live then?
What do you mean? Why they haven't killed me? Well, there's a lot of people in this community doing the same thing that I am doing. I honestly think that if I was the only person doing this, then yeah, my life would be in danger. But I'm not the only one in this community doing this, Joseph. It's a lot of us now. At one point, there was a very few of us doing it, but there's too many of us. And like I said earlier, I wasn't even the person that uncovered all this. I learned this from somebody else. So it's not. I'm not the only one. I didn't make this up. I didn't make up Gematria.
I understand Gematria is a form of Jewish mysticism.
Yes, I did not create that. I didn't schedule the NBA Finals on June 17th. I didn't do that.
I mean, they're generally scheduled at the same time each year.
Yeah, so just the fact that the 617 area code wins the championship on 617, maybe that's a coincidence, Joseph. Maybe.
I think there's more than one area code in Boston.
But they did their area code is 617.
That's the only area code for Boston?
They won the championship on 617. That's the Boston area code. They even showed a photograph. I'm gonna show you the photograph, Joseph.
Okay. Here's what I will say.
All right, hold on. If you're gonna talk, let me put you on the. Hold on. Because people can't hear you. Hold on. Go ahead.
I believe that the universe does leave us puzzles and riddles and signs.
I personally believe in signs. I see signs from God, from the universe every day. When I want to succeed at something, I read the signs. Okay? If I'm about to do something wrong in this world, I can hear a truck backing up. I hear the sound of a truck backing up, and that alerts me you're going backwards in life. There's many signs that I hear. Those are for me to continue and keep using in my own work and journey. But I believe in the signs. So I can understand where you're coming from. With the numbers, if you see the patterns and you feel like it's working for you, that's fine. But to lead people down this path where you believe that every single death of a family member, when people were dealing, I think Andrew Wiggins had missed like half the season because he was trying to keep under wraps his dad was dealing with illness. And then he passed away. I think that's incredible.
Let me ask you something, Joseph. How do you know that for a fact? You don't know that for a fact. What Andrew Wiggins was doing. You're assuming because you heard it in the media.
So you think Andrew Wiggins was out doing something?
No, I want you to tell me what you think, Joseph. How do you know for a fact what Andrew...
I think he took some time off from basketball.
How do you know that? Can you prove that to me?
I can't prove it. That's the thing.
So you lost the debate. You lost the debate. Here, because this is the problem with you, Joseph. You're choosing... Wait, and neither can you. You cannot prove...
But that's what I said. I can't prove it either.
So that's what I'm saying. You're a believer. No. I can't. I've proven how his death is ritualistic. But I can't prove. Joseph, you gotta let me talk, Joseph. I don't want to raise my voice. I can talk over you. Just let me talk, and then you can talk. That's why people start like yelling and shit. I don't want to do that. This is the thing. When I say I can't prove, what I meant by that is I can't prove what Andrew Wiggins was doing when he was taking time off. I don't know what he was doing. You can't prove it either because what you're doing is you're choosing what to believe. Because ESPN came out and said, tonight we have some breaking news. Golden State Warriors small forward Andrew Wiggins cannot play today because he has to take care of his ill grandfather. He's going to miss the next 5 games. And on other news, the Warriors just finished defeating the Cavaliers. So that's why you're watching these programs and you're saying, Andrew Wiggins can't play today because his grandfather's ill. Oh, look, his grandfather ended up dying at the age of 64. Damn, that's unfortunate. And then for his grandfather to die 202 days after his birthday, the San Francisco number. Oh, Lord. This is what I'm saying. These patterns we've been documenting over and over again, man. Think about it. I don't have any of this information in front of me, and I know it off the top of my head because these things are so repetitive.
First of all, no one in the media ever said his father was sick.
So how did you know this?
That was speculation through people who knew him.
So do you know him?
I don't know Andrew Wiggins personally.
So how did you know? How did you know this?
Time away. When he took time away, people were speculating what was going on with him. Somebody that said he was close friends with him said, yo, his father's ill. And a lot of people jumped on that person and was like, why would you release that information?
Okay, and how did you...
Nobody knew why. And now, days later, months later, it comes out his father died. That's probably what he was doing.
Have you ever heard the clip of Kanye West saying that he sacrificed his own mother?
No, I've never heard that. I've heard he said that a doctor killed his mother.
Yeah, he came out and said, my mother was a sacrifice.
Why are you changing the subject so abruptly?
To show you that sacrifices do exist in the industry.
Okay, here's the thing. I'll give you this. I believe, and I learned this story because I'm writing a movie about it. There was something about young Memphis rappers who would make sigil mixtapes. They believed that if you killed a person and recorded their death and put that death in your mixtape, you would gain fame and fortune.
All right, listen to this. Listen to this clip. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but just listen to this clip of Kanye West saying out of his own words that he sacrificed his mother, which is not what he said when she originally died, because when she originally died, he claimed that his mother died from medical malpractice, right? That's what he said? All right, so here we go.
10 years from now. Good question.
I want to be an artist, a doctor.
It'd be cool to have my name on a building.
Just skip that.
They can't. They try to suppress you, but that's how they try to categorize.
They can't control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me. You see, it ain't no name I won't name. Exactly. It's up.
Not you.
You know what I'm saying? And just for Minister Farrakhan, I love you, but the way you read that, I took that as a slight. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking no disrespect from nobody. So let's get on the phone. Let's talk that out. I don't care who you are. I ain't taking no slice from nobody, right? I ain't taking no slice from nobody. It's God. That's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Me too.
You understand?
Yeah, I'm appreciate
Michael Jordan, what about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You know, out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing.
Exactly, Joseph.
Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize. And God loved me. You understand? They hit me. Gap, Adidas, all that away. Still, Forbes, who hate me, right, had to write net worth $400 million.
Why would somebody who claimed that his mother died from medical malpractice say in an interview on TMZ that his mother was sacrificed? Why would he say that, Joseph? The floor is yours. Hold on. Let me put you back on the screen. God, the floor is yours. He also, wait, before you answer, he also mentioned Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby's son. He said there's a lot of people in the industry who their family end up missing. And there's a lot of that going on. Now, the floor is yours, Joseph.
First off, I can't speak for why Kanye would say anything. I'm not Kanye West. I didn't grow up like him. I don't know why he would have said that. My opinion is he said a lot of abrasive things that he's walked back. He's said no to. He's an abrasive Gemini. This is what he does. He also said slavery was a choice. Do you believe that?
Slavery is still going on.
He said slavery was a choice.
Well, the thing is this. Do I believe in that and what he's saying? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
I think so. I think it is a choice. Because if you
So you choose to be a slave?
you have to let me answer. If you are not awake and if you're participating in their agenda, then you're choosing to be a slave. Like you said, you're going to work, you're choosing to be that slave, right? But if you say, you know what, I am not going to participate, I'm not going to pay taxes, I am not going to, abide by these government rules, then you're choosing to not be a slave. But if you're going to work, if you're feeding into the propaganda, going getting vaccinated and all that stuff, you're choosing slavery. So being asleep is choosing slavery.
To me, personally, being asleep means fearing other people that you've never met before.
You haven't answered why so you're saying that Kanye West just said that he sacrificed his mother, even though that matches with what we've been teaching, because he did. His mother was clearly a sacrifice. His mother did not die from medical malpractice. His mother was murdered, just like Bill Cosby's son, like he said, just like Michael Jordan's father, like he said in that video. All of those things are facts. All of those things are facts. I don't remember decoding his grandmother's death, but Kevin Hart's mother.
That was it.
Who?
He made a song about her.
Well, I never heard it, and
I personally believe in the law of give and take.
And you also believe in coincidences, and you also believe that there's no evil. You believe that Arturo Sosa and Pope Francis, they're just walking around.
I told you earlier, come on, man. Don't put words in my mouth. I told you earlier, I believe there are absolutely nefarious people on this earth. There are absolutely...
That's not what you said in the beginning of the video.
People on this... Hold on. Oh, I'm not done talking. There are groups of people in any industry that do nefarious acts. I don't believe that there is just one whole controlling sector.
There is.
Because there are so many different titans of all different industries battling one another constantly. They're all greedy. They're all megalomaniacs. And they're all battling each other. Do you have to fear these people? No, you don't have to fear them.
You also don't have to consume what they give you.
You know, you don't have to fear them, and you're right. You don't have to consume them, but you do need to be aware, because if the enemy,
I'm with you 100% on awareness.
that's what I'm doing. I'm raising awareness. I am not telling people to be afraid. I'm telling people actually what I'm promoting is actually the opposite. I'm telling people don't be afraid of this invincible virus.
I need to apologize to you then. I have to apologize to you. It comes off that you are promoting fear.
No, what I'm trying to promote is the absolute opposite. I'm letting people know don't be afraid of this pandemic, because this is the truth behind it. Don't walk around with 2 pair of gloves and your face covered where you can't breathe. You don't have to do that. You can go outside just like this, because you shouldn't be afraid of germs. So I'm doing the opposite, Joseph.
So what do you propose that we do, or what do you propose a society does to get rid of the society of what is it? The Jesuit society, Jesuit order? Would you say?
Well, yeah, you could just call them the Illuminati, because at the end of the day, that is that is
So what do you propose we do to get rid of these people?
Well, I think if enough, I've spoke about this before. I think if enough people wake up, and I don't want people to believe in what I'm saying. I want people to be able to see it for themselves, right? I think if enough people wake up, because I think there's a reason they hide it from us. I think they are scared of us knowing, and that's why they don't tell us directly. Because if they had all the power, they'll just say, guess what? Andrew Wiggins' father, he didn't die from this illness. We killed him. But there's a reason they lie. And I think they are afraid of because they truly know that we have the power. So the only way we're going to gain that power back is if all of us realize what's going on and then do something about it. Until then, nothing is going to change. Because there's a reason that they hide it from us and lie to us. You think about it. How many people you think have gone bankrupt, lost their houses, lost their cars betting on rigged sports? And you think if those same people knew that the games were all scripted, they would choose to gamble on the team that they chose to gamble on? Maybe not. How many people are now paying insurance for flood insurance? You think those people would be paying that flood insurance if they knew that it was actually their own government who flooded their city? Because they have the power to control the weather? How many people have all these bills now because of the ritual that you see? That's what these people do. They flood the city, and then guess what? Everybody now has to pay for flood insurance. So now they're getting rich, and now they got Patrick Mahomes doing State Farm commercials, laughing at the same people going to the games. Oh, look, State Farm. Oh, look, my house broke down. Chris Paul. Don't you realize that Chris Paul, in the beginning of his career, he was playing for all the cities that was getting flooded? He started his career in New Orleans. New Orleans had Hurricane Katrina. Then he goes into Houston. Houston gets Hurricane Harvey. Then he goes into L.A. L.A. gets flooded. And then guess what? Chris Paul is the face of State Farm.
When did LA get flooded?
Look it up. LA floods. Look it up. You just type in Google LA floods. And guess what? Who's the face of State Farm? Chris Paul and his fake brother, Cliff Paul. Then after they flood the cities that he used to play for, then they got the same player doing State Farm commercials, because now all those people from those cities are paying State Farm for flood insurance. This shit is a big mockery, a big scam, and people are not realizing it. So that's why.
Didn't the same thing happen with Aaron Rodgers?
What do you mean?
Aaron Rodgers was also doing the State Farm commercials, correct?
Yes, his career has been scripted the same way, Joseph. Same thing with Patrick Mahomes.
I didn't see any floods or any
Well, they don't do the same thing with every celebrity.
or New York.
Yeah, but they don't do the same thing with every celebrity. They don't do the same thing. I'm trying to show you the patterns that they did with Chris Paul. Like, think about it. Hurricane Harvey happened, and guess who won the World Series that year? You think it was just the world that said, you know what? The people of Houston deserves a World Series. What about Katrina? Who won the Super Bowl after Katrina? Was it not the Saints?
You could make a case on either side for all of that rhetoric. Every city that plays professional sports has a tragedy or has an uplifting story.
And then they just
But so why? I mean, every city can't win though.
Yeah, but just what are the odds? Hold on, Joseph. Just what are the odds? Go ahead.
My theory is based on a different kind of numbers. That's the theory of sports winning teams is generally based on profits.
how much can a city provide that sport and that league? So small markets generally don't win unless that small market is kind of on the come up, or it's a great story like Cleveland when LeBron won. They were showing that these teams, these fans will come out and purchase.
Do you realize that LeBron?
Generally, if you go down the
Okay,
conspiracy
no,
route,
wait.
which are generally
That's
private
false.
venues,
That's false, Joseph.
that's the biggest.
The reason the Cavaliers won the championship that year, remember they was down 3-1 to the Warriors, and guess what? LeBron, he ended up winning the championship on 6/19. And what is 6/19? That happens to be the real King James' birthday. So King James wins the NBA Finals for Cleveland on the real King James' birthday. And if you're familiar with the Bible, Joseph, in the Bible, King James was actually a real person in the Bible. Have you heard of the King James Bible, right? The people who used to serve King James, do you know what they was called?
What were they called?
Cavaliers. So think about the Cavaliers winning on the real King James' birthday with Mr. King James on the roster. A city that has never won after that. You see, all this stuff is biblical, Joseph, and it is all very patterned, very numerical.
You can make a case for saying that God controlled all that.
So God wanted LeBron James to win on the real King James' birthday with his Cavaliers.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
If you're a religious person, if I was a devout Christian, I could make that exact same case to be like, no, God willed this.
So God is paying attention to sports. Meanwhile, there's people in Haiti who are starving. People in Africa starving. He's more focused on what the Cavaliers are doing.
I'm telling you that you can make a case for that.
No, but I'm saying, let's say I'm okay, but let's say I'm God. All right, but look,
I can't prove that God willed that.
no, but I'm saying,
That would only be a belief system.
all right, so you're saying that God, here I am, I'm God. I'll say, you know what? I have nothing to do. Let me just focus on what the Cavaliers are doing. Even though, over here in Russia, they're being, they're starving over here. Ukraine, they're getting bombed. But let me pay attention to LeBron. You know what? I think the Cleveland, they haven't won a championship in a long time. Let me give them a championship on this date. Really. That's what God is doing, huh?
So you think that Pope Francis did that instead?
Well, the thing is, when you look at it and you see the numerical pattern, it all points back to the same people.
There's numerical patterns in almost anything in this.
But what I'm saying, Joseph, it's
Patterns in your DNA.
yes, but there's a pattern that's very consistent. When I mean pattern is like, let's say, for example, me and you are like right now you're wearing that hat and that sweater, right? And then let's say tomorrow I have an interview with a different person and he happens to wear that same hat and the same sweater with the same glasses. And then a week later, another person with the same hat, same glasses, and same sweater. You see, it gets very repetitive. So then you as the viewer, you start seeing like, wait a minute, how is it that every time Simple Truth TV has an interview, he has an interview with a guy with the same hat, the same glasses, and the same sweater? That cannot be something God is doing on purpose. That has to be scripted because there's no other way of that happening so many times. That's what happening in these sports games. It's the same numerical pattern every single year, every single time, and that's how we are able to predict who's going to win on what day and show. And sometimes we can show the outcome, like the Celtics. One of my people, I didn't catch this, so I'm not going to get any credit for it. But one of my people called me and said on my Patreon, they said, listen, I think the Celtics are going to win Game 5 by 18 points. You imagine? I'm like, they're not going to do that. That's too obvious because the Celtics, they was going for their 18th championship. And all season, we've been noticing how they've been doing everything around the number 18. They went on an 18-game win streak. Then they win the championship. They win the 18th championship and all these 18 rituals. Game 1, I think it was like Jason Tatum. They won Game 1 by 18 points against the Mavericks. Then the last game, they won by 18 points. Everything was 18 the whole season. So he called me and said, you imagine they win by 18? So that person, he went and placed the bet, and he took the Celtics minus 17.5. I'm like, yo, you crazy. There's no way they're going to beat the Mavericks by 18. That's too obvious. And guess what? The Mavericks lose by 18 points, and the Celtics win their 18th championship on 6/17. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Look how obvious they did it. That's how we are able to predict it because it's so repetitive, Joseph. If you document it from the beginning of the season and you start seeing that, it's like, oh, look, they're doing it again. They're doing it again. Oh, look. That's how my people are able to make money off of it because it's so obvious. It gets obvious at some point. I like that you're speechless. I like this because you've been doing a lot of talking, Joseph. So I like that right now you're using your brain. Your brain is working right now. So I like this, Joseph. Now what I'm gonna do, Joseph, I'm gonna look at the chat to see what people got to say and if they have any questions for you. And if you want, if you want to answer it, or maybe you want to end the live stream, whatever you want to do, because I want to get the people's take on this to see if what they think. They think that it's God doing all this. That is it's just like you said, it's just the way the world works. Or maybe there is a group of people doing controlling everything. Because it's not only in basketball, it's in almost every single sport. What would you like to do, Joseph? You let me know, because I do appreciate you doing this though. Or maybe you could say you want to save part 2 from a different day, and you want to come back. It's whatever you want.
You would probably love that, huh?
No, I mean I didn't call for this, Joseph. You left comments under my post. No, but the thing is, no. Your comments.
You asked me to debate.
Yeah, because your comments. So you wrote in the comments, I'm gonna do everything in my power to get people to.
I'm gonna be working overtime.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So I said you don't have to do that, because if I am,
live my life and present things and the art that I put into the world to sway people to my way of thinking.
Yes. So I said, you know what, Joseph? Just to show you that I'm not a CIA misinformation agent, I'm going to put you on my platform so you can speak your mind. And if I am a fraud, like that's basically what you were saying, I'm an agent. If I am a fraud, it will be exposed in the video.
You just showed me numbers. That doesn't prove anything.
Numbers and math.
You don't have cold, hard evidence of any of the stuff you've claimed.
What is cold, hard evidence in your opinion?
Man, not just typing in something into a...
I gave you testimony. Like if this is the thing, Joseph. If this was a court case, it would be a shut.
Bring those numbers up in court?
No, not the numbers, but I gave you testimony.
Kanye's testimony?
No.
The man who's addicted to nitrous oxide right now?
So if he takes a stand, the jury will be like, we can't take his testimony because he's addicted to this. What do you mean?
Most likely, yeah. That is what they would do. A lawyer would throw that out.
Really? Him saying that his mother was sacrificed is not testimony.
Play sports?
Absolutely.
What's the highest level you played at?
High school.
What sport did you play?
Basketball.
What position were you? Point guard?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever made any miraculous shots in your life?
Yes, Joseph. This is the thing, Joseph.
You had buzzer beaters?
Yes.
Were there magnets in the balls? Were the balls controlled by the rim?
No.
So you think that's what's going on, though, right?
I never played in the NBA, Joseph. I never played college. And I never did this after shooting a 3-pointer. I never threw up a Masonic symbol. This is a Masonic symbol, Joseph. You have to learn the hand gesture. That's a Masonic symbol, Joseph.
I'm shooting a 3.
No, it's not. I'm trying to teach you.
What do the Masons have to do with anything?
This is a Masonic hand symbol.
So why are you putting it up right now?
To show you. This is what I never did this.
Are you a Mason?
I've never done that while playing basketball, is what I'm saying.
Are you a Mason?
I'm not.
So how do you know what their hand symbols are?
Because I study it.
I'm not a Mason.
I study
I'm
it.
not a Mason. I don't know what their hand
I study it. I study it.
How are you studying their material?
Because I'm trying to learn what I'm seeing. I'm trying to.
Those materials hidden?
It's not. It's public knowledge.
It's public knowledge. So why would they make that public knowledge?
A lot of this stuff they made it public knowledge because a lot of people haven't been exposing it.
Why would they make it public knowledge?
Well, it's not they doing it. It's been exposed. Just like what we're doing. Gematria is public knowledge, even though it wasn't they who put it out. You understand? Mm-hmm. Gematria is public knowledge. But are they the ones telling people, listen, learn Gematria? No, it's a community of people doing it. So my community has exposed the meaning of this, the meaning of this, the meaning of this, the meaning of this. My community has exposed that. So now we know what that means.
What does it mean? What does it all mean?
A lot of it means secrecy. A lot of it means 666. You can look it up. You type it in on Google. 666 fingers. See what comes up. It's an abstract 666, if you can see it. All this stuff, we've been studying it so that way we...
What are they doing when they do that?
Well, it's a way of communication to the people like you who don't...
To who?
To themselves. People who don't know how to read it, right? Like the Bloods. The Bloods, they have their way to communicate with their gang members. Latin Kings, Crips, they have their codes. That's exactly what they're doing. They have their ways.
So it's the same thing.
They're communicating. They're
Okay.
communicating
All right.
through numbers. They communicate through hand symbols. There's other ways they communicate, not only numbers, Joseph. They use other things as well to communicate to each other. It's just us that we don't know how to read
I
it.
mean, most humans do that, though, right? If you gave me a thumbs up right now, what would you be doing to me?
Well, it depends. If me and you are,
You'd be communicating to me, though, right?
yeah, exactly.
So it's a form of communication. So every human does it. But you believe it's something deeper and something more scary to it.
What do you mean? If like example, like if there's 40 people that walk around with a red. Let me give you an example. If me and you choose to walk outside with a blue flag on our heads, right?
I would never do that. Right now.
Why wouldn't you do that in LA?
Because I know the ramifications of that.
Exactly. So I know what this means. So I will never take a photo doing this because I know I'm aware of what it means. Now let's say I'm from a different country. See, you're from LA. You know the consequences of doing that. But let's say I come from Cuba, and I'm having a bad hair day, and I go into the Chinese store and buy a blue flag. Does that make me a Crip? It doesn't make me a Crip. But if I ask you how can you identify a Crip? What are you gonna say?
A New York Yankees cap?
A Crip in LA. What do they wear?
A New York Yankees cap? A New York Yankees cap?
What else do they wear? Do they wear blue flags?
Generally, no. Flags are outdated at this point. But that's syntax. That's just semantics. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Do they?
That's semantics. I get what you're saying.
No, I'm saying just okay.
So you're saying they identify each other. Right?
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. You can identify a Crip by their blue flag.
What are they identifying by doing that?
The same thing the Crips are. They are letting each other know I belong to this gang. But there are people who don't know that a blue flag means you belong to this gang. That's what I'm trying to explain to you, Joseph.
Okay, so I have friends who are in the industry and have been in big movies and are famous. Are generally
Can you name some?
Referred to as a celebrity.
Can you name some of
I'm
them?
not going to name them.
Okay.
But they don't do any of that stuff, and they're not a part of these rituals.
If you can't name them, I can't. Show you why that's. I can't.
Come on, man.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know who you're talking about. Are you talking about Jay-Z?
I don't know Jay-Z. I wish I knew Jay-Z.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know. Because the thing is, if you name somebody, I'm like, you know what? That's a lie. That person does because of this, and this. But if you're just not gonna name them, I can't help you with that. I can't expose them for being a sellout.
It's not what I'm doing here. I'm here to refute what you're talking about, and you say you wanted to prove.
I think I've proven that. I've proven that. I gave you testimony. You're saying that the numbers is not proof. Okay, I guess.
But here's the thing: that's a belief system. That's like a Muslim trying to prove that their God is the real God versus a Hindu God. Okay. That's a belief system. That's all you've proven to me is you have that belief.
Okay.
If I said here's a personal belief of my own, I believe in the planets controlling us and generally controlling our behaviors. Where the planets lie in the solar system helps control our behaviors. The closer our sun and our solar system gets to the larger super sun, the more aether is in the air, the better we are as humans are able to communicate, which is why we're no longer in the dark ages or the middle ages, and we've gone into the technology age. Because we are much closer to the super sun, there's more aether in the air, okay? That's what I personally believe, but I cannot prove that to you. I can show you the numbers, I can show you the years, I can show you the Hindu mysticism and the mathematics for that, but you might not believe it, and you might not say I proved it to you.
Okay, Joseph, if I say, for example, I can tell you what day Michael Jordan is going to pass away.
Tell me. I would love to know, and I will check back with you if that happens.
Okay, but this is the thing, Joseph. The reason I ask you that is because, yes, I've made incorrect predictions, but I've made to be honest with you, I made like 5 predictions. I don't like doing it because it's very difficult to know when somebody's gonna die, but I have done it in the past, and I've made like about 5. I've been wrong twice. I was wrong with the death of Joe Biden, and I was wrong with Damar Hamlin. But there's been 3 other times where I predicted that a person is gonna pass away, and they die exactly on that day that I said it would. It happened 3 times.
I'm sorry, man. That's not moving the needle for me, man.
So I'm saying, so what was I getting lucky?
Bro, people get lucky all the time.
So you can predict. So if I ask you to predict, if I ask you to predict when a person is gonna die, you'll get lucky and predict the correct date. Can't see your camera, Joseph.
So did you predict that the Knicks would be in the finals last year on 6-6?
I made a
Posting on Instagram predicting that the Knicks.
I thought. Well, the thing is, when I was studying the NBA Finals last year, I was studying it, and then I noticed that it made more sense for the Knicks to play the Mavericks
Why is that?
because of the numbers.
Narrative?
Yeah, the narrative that I was noticing. But if you're gonna mention the things that I got wrong, Joseph, how come you're not mentioning all the things that I got correct?
I don't know what you got correct, my man.
So,
I'm sorry.
So you don't know what I got correct, but you know what I got incorrect?
I've seen you incorrectly post quite a few times. Yes.
So you've never seen a correct prediction?
What were your predictions? I've never seen you make any correct predictions. No, I haven't seen you make any.
I just told you in my video. I just told you that there's if you go to
You report on people passing away, and then you say that a number coincides with something else.
okay. So look.
Predict, oh, hey, this team is going to win this. This team is going to win that.
Okay.
And when I do see you predict it,
It doesn't come true.
Okay, fine. Okay, so there's like about 7 videos of me correctly predicting something. Like I said earlier, I don't always get everything correct because I'm on the outside looking in. I'm trying to figure it out. So when you're trying to figure something out, you're gonna be wrong, right? I predicted the exact. Actually, this is the video that you can access on my channel. I said I called the Celtics to sweep the Pacers in 4 games because game 4 was scheduled 666 days after the death of Bill Russell. That video's in my channel. You probably never seen
here's
it.
the thing, though. Most people predicted that just on the strength of like, oh, Boston is a better team.
And okay, fine, whatever. Then I also predicted when the Astros was going to win the World Series.
Dismissiveness is generally a sign.
Because the thing is, you're not listening. You're talking about things. You're talking about people predicted. This is the thing. There's a difference between just giving a dry prediction when I'm giving a prediction and showing why it's going to happen on that day. Showing a numerical pattern that's repetitive every single year. This is why I'm dismissing what you're saying because you're getting me frustrated. I told you earlier. There's a certain pair of numbers. No, I'm not. It's just if you're gonna make a mockery of, and if you're not paying attention, then it's hard for me to communicate to you.
I'm not making a mockery of it.
Yes, because I feel like I'm repeating myself.
Like I said, it's a belief system. You have found a pattern of a belief system. So
It's not a belief. It's facts.
It's tangent. No, it's not facts. Otherwise, you would get it right every time.
No, that's not how it works. It's impossible to get. No, it's not. You can't. All right. Do you know how to do you know how to add?
Yes, I know how to add.
All right. So if I give you.
So if I add up 2 + 2 and it equals 4 every single time, that's a fact.
No, but if I give you 100 different math problems, are you gonna get all of them correctly?
If I know that math, absolutely, yeah. You give me 100 different addition problems, I'm gonna get them right every single time.
You're gonna get 100.
Yes, bro. I now you're getting me upset. Yes, if you never got 100 on a test before.
The thing is, Joseph, it's a little bit more complicated. You gotta let me talk, Joseph. It's a little bit more.
I'm sorry, brother. Boo.
All right, fine. You can boo me all you want. But the thing is, it's a little bit more complicated than that. But what I'm saying is these games are like a math problem. And it's a little bit deeper than math because sometimes, like I said earlier, this is why I was getting frustrated because I feel like I'm repeating myself. When you're trying to figure something out, it's like an equation. maybe 2 plus 2. If I give you 100 problems like that, you'll get all of them right. But if I gave you 100 algebra problems, you're not gonna get all of them right. Whether you believe it or not, maybe you'll get 100. But if I gave you 10 different tests, you're not gonna get every single question right for all 10 tests. That's just false. That's false. That's false. That's false. All right, so now you're a genius. Okay, fine, whatever. We'll believe you. I believe you.
I never said that, but if I just said, listen to what I said. If I know the subject thoroughly, I will get 100 every time.
But I explained that in the beginning of the video. I said we don't know everything about these rituals. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's getting frustrating with. I'm getting frustrated. All right, but
that's exactly why I said that, because you can't prove something that you don't know for a fact 100%.
That's not true, Joseph. Because even in a court of law, that's not the case. That's not the case.
If they can't prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt, then it's.
But you don't need all the facts. You don't need all the facts to get a conviction.
Man, I hope you never, bro. I promise you, and I'll never wish ill on anyone. I hope you never get in a situation where the courts don't have to prove something beyond a shadow of a doubt, and you don't end up in a bad situation.
All right, let me ask you something, Joseph.
I don't know you personally, and you don't seem like the type
all right, let me. Can I ask you a question, Joseph?
Be real, bro.
Can I ask you a question, Joseph? Have you did you watch the YMW Melly case? It was on YouTube.
Man, I don't pay attention to stuff. Like
Okay, well, I was paying attention to it because I was showing the ritualism behind it. But let me explain something. Well, this is what I learned about that case, and there's actually lawyers on YouTube breaking down that case. That case ended up being a hung jury, but they rescheduled for another trial. This is what I learned from the lawyers, listening to the prosecutor and the DA and the YMW Melly's lawyers. You don't need all of the facts in the case to get a conviction. That's not true. All you need is, like you said, to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. If you, like, for example, in the YMW case, they had no witnesses, they had no gun, they had no testimony. Right? No, they had no witnesses. There was no testimony, and the other person involved, the co-defendant, he wasn't testifying. So there was a lot of things that the DA did not have, but they still was able to get. To be honest, if it wasn't ritualistic, I think YMW would have got convicted. But they prolonged it for their reasons, right? But this is what I learned about that, right? The prosecution was able to prove their point using common sense. YMW Melly said in his testimony that his friends were killed in a drive-by shooting. Now, the prosecutor showed that the bullets did not go inside. They was able to show this through forensics. The bullets, they came from the inside of the vehicle, the bullets that murdered his friends. So there was no bullets that came from the outside. Now, if I ask you, because you're one of those person that likes to like speculate, you will say like, but what about if... The thing is, you have to use common sense and you have to be logical. If the bullets, the bullets are coming from the inside of the vehicle, that's proof that it wasn't a drive-by. So now we're getting a false testimony from one of the suspects, right? Do we need to be there to see that it wasn't a drive-by? No. There's other things that we can use to prove that it wasn't a drive-by. And they was able to prove that by looking at the angles that the bullets exited the vehicle, right? Now, did YMW confess to say, no, it wasn't a drive-by? Did anybody? The other people didn't, because the other people were dead, right? The victims. So how was the prosecutor able to justify that it wasn't a drive-by? They studied the angles of the bullets, right? Another thing they did is he had his cell phone on him. That's how they was able to prove that he was actually in the vehicle, because they tracked.
Oh, so they proved that he was in the vehicle.
They proved that he was in the vehicle because.
Proved that. Okay, got it.
Because no, but the thing is, what they used to prove it was, like I said, if you're part of that jury, it's common. You have to use your common sense in a sense, because what they use for proof, somebody like you would be like, that's not proof. Look what they used. It was his cell phone.
You can't assume that about me.
Well, the thing is, that's what you said earlier. That you all right, forget it. Let me just finish what I'm saying. Okay. Let me just finish. Hold on. Let me finish what I'm saying. No. Let me just finish what I'm saying. The way they was able to prove that he was inside the vehicle is because his cell phone was in that area, in the area of the shooting, right? Somebody like you would be like, oh, what about if somebody else stole his cell phone? You see, you gotta use common sense. There's certain things that don't add up. Sometimes you have to use common sense to see the truth because the criminals are not gonna admit to it.
So do you think Pope Francis had a hand in YNW Melly shooting his friend?
You ask me all these questions and then I give you the answer and then you say, well, that's your opinion. You haven't proven anything. I've made
I'm asking. I'm just asking you a question.
His murder of his friends was very ritualistic. It happened 84 days after his Murder on My Mind video came out. And young nigga world equals 84 like the Jesuit order, like Illuminati, like the Catholic Church. Big number with the Catholic Church. So yes,
Okay.
Pope Francis had a lot to do with that.
All right. You don't think? Let me just pose something to you, right? Do you think that because this information is out into the world, let's say you put this information out today, right? And someone watches the video. Someone who's an aspiring rapper watches the video and goes, wait a second. If they're using these numbers for their gain, can I also use the numbers? Do you think people then go and do those rituals themselves or attempt those rituals themselves?
I don't think I haven't noticed any of that happening. But what I have noticed is a rapper came across this information and he posted it on his social media. He said, "Learn gematria," and then he gave out the definition of gematria. I think his name is Beer. I don't know his let me just look him up. I think it's not Beer, rapper. Yeah, YBN not Beer. I'm gonna show you. Yeah, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you on the screen. Hold on. Let me just show you. All right, here it is. I'm just gonna show you. Yeah, okay. He has a failing career, but look what he wrote. He wrote free game. Yeah, free game. Gematria is a alphanumeric code of assigning a numerical value to a name, word, or phrase according to its letters. A single word can yield several values depending on the cipher used. He posted this back in 2021 when he found the knowledge. How is that relevant?
Well, let me get to that point. I'm about to ask you.
Ice Cube hasn't had a big song since in a long time. What does that matter?
I was about to ask you, do you think he's being suppressed because he put that out?
Well, that's a possibility, but I don't know the answer.
See, you jumped the gun, bro.
I don't know the answer to that. That's a possibility. I don't know the answer.
Okay. So with the same rhetoric of supreme mathematics, which is what most rappers in the 90s put out there, they preached, why were they so successful? It's because they believed in themselves and they believed in that belief system, or was it because Pope Francis wanted them to be famous?
Ask your question again because you asked like 3 different questions in that one.
I'm gonna just make it even more simple, right? And there are people who do this, the sharp numbers guys for the NFL, right? The statisticians, the people who study the stats and the weather that's going to be at the game. When they get predictions right, it's because they believed in the work they did with the numbers they used. Yet, they will always say, I cannot prove this without a shadow of a doubt that this is real. I believe that what you think Gematria does for you in these situations is the exact same thing. It's a system of belief. Okay? Just like I believe in the sun and the moon and the stars and where the planets align, that is still a system of belief, and I cannot prove it without a shadow of a doubt.
That's only a system of belief to a person. Hold on, Joseph. Hold on.
That you say you can prove it.
The only way that's a system of belief is if you are a person that believes in coincidences.
Not in stats. Not in the stats. No. If you look at the stats, you can pretty much predict what someone's going to do. It's how they predict fantasy points.
No, that's not what's going on here, though.
But I said that's a system of belief, though. That's the thing. It's a system of belief. If someone comes to you with a new system of belief and changes your mind, it was just a system of belief. It's not a fact.
Joseph, like I broke down. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes I feel like you're not listening. You don't need. Like I don't know what you. Like I said, I don't know what you consider facts. I'm showing you facts. I'm showing you how a word equals a number. Right? That is a fact. I can't alter that.
Okay, here's the thing, right? If you and I right now were to put our heads together and come up with a brand new numerical system for breaking down words, that would be a whole new system, and we can make anything we want.
You cannot. No, but this is the thing, Joseph. We tried this earlier. I cannot change the system to fit my narrative. Like five.
There are multiple numerical systems for that.
Listen to me. I asked you earlier to give me a name to see if it has a 38 value, and you couldn't give me a name that equals 38. Meanwhile, there's so many rappers out there with these names that equal 38.
Okay, Nas. Does Nasir equal 38?
The thing is, I have to do that research. I can't. I don't know.
You just showed me. What you mean? Go back to the website.
No, but I have to look up his career to see where the 38 connection is with his name. That's what I'm saying earlier.
This is where you lose me.
No, Joseph. The thing is, every time I explain this to you, you go a different route. I'm not saying that every rapper. Listen, please. I don't want to repeat myself. I don't want to yell. Every rapper does not have a 38 name. What I said was most rappers die or have a 38 connection. So in order for me to answer the Nas question, I have to look through his career to see where the 38 comes from. Because I'm pretty sure there is one. Tupac died on a date with 38 numerology. Biggie Smalls died on a date with 38 numerology. That number is faithful in the rap industry. So in order for me to answer your Nas question, I have to do this. I'm not guessing, Joseph. I have to do the research.
Have you ever heard of the law of attraction?
Joseph, that is not what's happening here, Joseph. That is not what's happening.
Because you're seeking out a certain thing, and you will find a way to make that fit.
That is not what's happening here, Joseph. That is not what's happening.
What's happening here is you haven't proven anything to me. Because
I don't know what you want to be proof. I don't know what you consider proof.
100%. How can you prove it? You told me you can prove it.
Well, I gave you I gave you 5 things to prove to serve as proof.
But that didn't sway me. You didn't sway me.
All right.
I'm a person that can be swayed.
All right. I gave you testimony. You said, "Oh, I can't take Kanye serious." All right. Then I gave you a synchronicity with multiple people that have a connection to this one number. You said that's not proof. That's just a belief. Then I gave you examples of people. Like I asked you for a random example of a person and to see if we could find a 38. And guess what? We did. That Kate Spade woman ended up dying 163 days after her birthday. That was a person that I never heard of. And guess what? That's another person to add to the 38 list.
You could have been like, she just was 38 days past her period. Boom.
But that's not what I said. But you
can. But I've seen you speak for that.
Hold on. See now. When have I ever said that a person died 38 days after their period, Joseph? Don't get me upset, Joseph, because we're having a great conversation. Don't mess it up. We're having a great conversation. Don't mess it up. That's bogus. I've never said nothing like that. Don't confuse me. Don't confuse me with that. No, I say the same thing No, I do not.
I've seen the word. You go, oh, it doesn't mean this word. It means this word.
When have I ever said something that sounds similar to that? Verbatim.
Instead of saying, oh, it's the kill date, it's slain, or it's deceased, or it's this one. You can find a word to make it fit the numbers you want to fit.
That's how the system works. This is the problem, Joseph. For a person.
Belief system, then, man. That's what you're saying. You have a belief system. That's not a fact system. That's a belief system. Just like Christians cannot prove that their God exists, Muslims cannot prove that their God exists. That is a belief system, not a fact system. If I said to you, let's go back and look at every single American that won a gold medal this year, all of them would say, I want to give the glory to God. Does that mean that God had a hand in what they did? That means they believe God had a hand in what they did.
Okay. Joseph, Please answer, because you haven't answered any of my questions. Let me just answer this question for me. I don't know if you can hear me. You probably can't. Okay, here we go. Joseph, if, for example, 50 celebrities, they all die. Not even celebrities, just regular people in your neighborhood. 50 people in your neighborhood die. I mean, this is how the police are able to identify serial killers. And every person that's dead, the police they see a cross on their cheek, a cross, and then they capture a guy doing a cross on a woman who he's killing at the moment. The police. Can the police say you're the one responsible for the other 19 people that died and had a cross on their face?
Don't they have to find proof? Because that could be a copycat. That's a bad question.
All right, but is he a suspect for those serial killings?
Oh, absolutely, you could be a suspect.
Okay, so then you go into more. You find more, like you said, you have to find more facts, like we do, right? So now we have this guy who was doing something, putting a cross on somebody's cheek, and it happens to match the other 19 people who died with the same cross on their cheek. Okay, he becomes a suspect, whether you like it or not.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing with the numbers. Every celebrity that passes.
So you're finding the suspect.
Joseph, you're playing. You're doing. This is what I'm saying. This. We having a great conversation. You're ruining it. No, yes, we are. We know who the suspects are. It points to the same thing, because the suspect is a serial killer. The judge will order are serial killers, because they leave their stamp everywhere.
You're scared of the boogeyman. That's what you're doing. You're scared of the boogeyman.
So you don't believe in serial killers?
I believe there have been serial killers in this world. Absolutely.
And then why do the police determine that they are serial killers?
By detective work.
That's what we are doing, Joseph.
Okay, man. Well, if that's what you believe you're doing, you have not proven anything to me personally. I've taken up way too much of my own personal time doing this.
Okay.
But I'm sorry, you haven't proven anything to me.
Okay. Well, we can agree to disagree.
That's fine.
Now let's see.
Take care. Best of luck to you, man. I will be putting my word out there into the world, and I hope the best to you, man. I hope you come to the light.
All right, Joseph. Have a good one. Thanks a lot for doing this. Okay. Well, I try to wake up another lost soul, but it's really difficult when people are in denial, you know. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up the phone lines, and if you guys want to call in, and maybe if Joseph watches this video on the replay, he can listen to you guys at home. Maybe you guys have something you want to point out that I didn't point out. So I'm gonna put the phone number on the screen. The chat is going crazy right now. Okay, so the number's on the screen. You guys want to call in and leave a message for Joseph, because Joseph he's in denial. And I'm pretty sure a lot of the things that I said, it was starting to click. If you guys saw like in the middle of the video, there was a lot of moments where he remained silent, because he was starting to thinking like, man, maybe this guy's right. But, you know, his ego came into play. And that's what I believe. His ego played a big part of all this. Yeah, that's another thing. He said detective work is how you solve a serial killer's case. But then he talks about the love of the law of attraction. Like, there's no law of attraction when it comes to a serial killer. But what we're doing, it doesn't really matter, because he doesn't consider us police officers, right? The guy is not the smartest person, but he was polite, and that's why we was able to have a conversation. And I do appreciate him for doing this. He didn't have to do it, but it's frustrating. Like, how many coincidences do I need to point out for you to notice that none of this stuff is coincidental? Really, all these rappers having this 38 connection, and you're saying that that's the way the world works? That God wanted LeBron James to win the championship on the real King James? Like, man, I was trying to really hold, like, I didn't want to spaz on him, but he was starting to get on my nerves, to be honest. But Joseph, we have a caller here. Let's see what he has to say. If you're watching this. Hello?
What's going on with Simple Truth? This is Jawan, man. This is Jawan from Chessmine Films.
How you doing, man? Thank you for the call.
Oh, I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm okay, man. I'm a little,
man, I was
antsy.
I was just literally screaming through the phone, like, get off the phone with that dude, man. Some people you just can't convince them of nothing. They're not gonna believe. Fat meat greasy until they die of a heart attack. You can't tell them nothing.
Yeah, I asked him. I said, listen, if you see a guy at the mall and the laundromat, the same guy at the store, he's in front of your building, you don't think the guy's following you? You know what he said? Oh, that never happened to me. He said, that never happened to me. Like, the guy's being too sarcastic. Like, people like that is just hard to convince. Like, at some point, you got to realize, like, okay, maybe that guy's following me. That's what a person with common sense would think.
Right. He to me, it sounded like he just wanted to be a troll. Like,
that's what I thought at the beginning. But then I'm like, maybe he's not a troll. Maybe he's somebody who really is on the fence about all this.
But if he was somebody that was just curious, he would allow you to say what you were saying and actually do the research and think about what you're saying. Like you said, most of it is common sense. But if you don't got common sense, and what you got to realize, most people don't have common sense. Not everybody has common sense.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. He gave me a random person that I've never heard of. Kate Spade. Never heard of this woman before. He said, okay, show me how her death was ritualistic. I said, fine, I'll do the decode right here while you're on the phone. And guess what? I noticed that she died 163 days after her birthday, 38 prime number. A number that I talk about every single day on my blog. And he goes, so what, man? You just putting numbers there to fit. I'm like, come on, man. I talk about 38 every single video.
Kate Spade was an obvious sacrifice. Her daughter don't even believe that she hung herself because she was just making plans to do things with her daughter. So why would she up and kill herself?
I never heard of her, but now I'm gonna do more research and I'm gonna see who she was. But is that what happened? She committed suicide?
They said she committed suicide, but yeah, she was a designer. She the one that made those K-State bags, and she had a clothing line, and yeah, she was real big.
Yeah. Okay. So she committed suicide, right? Suicide. I think. Let me see.
Huh?
No, you're actually teaching me about Kate Spade. I never heard of her. Yeah, found dead in New York. She was 55. She died in her 56-year life. She died on Park Avenue. Discovered at the scene. Yep. Yeah, they're saying suicide. Yeah, okay, suicide at her home. Okay, yeah, I gotta do some more research on her. But yes, 163 days after her birthday, the 38 prime number.
You realize how many celebrities died within the last 2 weeks?
What do you mean?
I mean, a lot of celebrities died within the last 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I said, all of these are sacrifices. Like I said, I'll be literally waiting for your videos to come out because I'll be sharing your videos with people, but they still don't believe. I'm like, nothing is coincidence, first of all. Nothing is coincidence.
And then you heard him say that in his speech. He said, yeah, that's a coincidence. I said, okay, you think the Celtics winning on 617 in a 617 area code is a coincidence? He said, yeah. Oh my gosh. Like, that's what I'm saying. It almost felt like he was trolling. It had to be. He had to be trolling.
Did you hear about that? Did you hear about the black ballerina who recently passed away at 29?
Yeah. I seen it, but I didn't do the work on her.
Okay, yeah.
I did see that.
I said I didn't even hear about that one, but I'm gonna do the research on that myself too. But I'm like, yeah, it's just a lot happening. And I just want to chime in real quick to say, man, you waste your time with him, man, because some people, they just not gonna get it. And what you got to understand is everybody can't be saved. They can't be saved, and they just gonna fall by the wayside. But you keep doing your thing, bro, and keep up the good work. I'm gonna stay tuned and listen to what everybody else got to say.
Yeah, I appreciate you calling in, man. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, bro. Take it easy. Peace.
Yeah. It was definitely feeling like he was trolling, but I really hope, he watches this and listens to you guys' take on this stuff, because I was getting a little frustrated. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, if you guys want to call in, the number's on the screen: 646-986-0958. Or otherwise, we can probably end it there. I got a caller right now. Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy that he brought up Kate Spade because I was watching a video about famous designers that killed themselves. If you look up Alexander McQueen and Lorraine Scott, they said that they died they died the same way. They call it, is what I've heard is they call it a doorknob ritual. So they tied themselves to a doorknob and they pretty much choked themselves out. And they were saying that, like I said, Alexander McQueen and Lorenz Scott are designers too. They said they died the same exact way.
Look at that. You see? Yeah.
And then yeah. So then when you look at that, if you would have mentioned that to him, like, yo, two different designers died the same way. Like, come on, that's kind of weird. How was that a coincidence?
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't know she was as big as Alexander McQueen.
Yeah, because she made like Kate Spade bags and stuff like that. And there was a bunch of people that I guess they were interviewing them where she died at, where her apartment was, and they happened to have Kate Spade bags. They brought them there, so I guess she was a big. Obviously, she was a big thing with purses and stuff for females, for women. So she was just as big as them.
Yeah, I'm gonna do way more research on her to see exactly what happened. I'll definitely make a video for that guy. But yeah, I mean, still, even without the Kate Spade example, there were so many things that we showed this guy, and this guy was just in denial, man. And he asked a question. He said, "What can we do to stop all this?" I mean, the people like him make it impossible for this stuff to end. Because it's like if you're not, he claims he's open minded, but I'm showing you all this stuff and you're refusing it, so you're never gonna be on our side, because you're never gonna be able to see the light.
Yeah, if you tell 100 people the same thing and they all deny it.
Yeah, they all deny it. We'll never be strong enough to fight back.
Yeah, because then once they get stopped, then I always thought, I think it's like if it stopped or we got people to catch on and it stopped, they don't want to see the other side of it. Like, dang, I was wrong the whole time. Like, very in denial of, like, I
think that's what it is too. The ego plays a big part of it too. A lot of people, even though they can see that there was something wrong, they don't want to accept that they've been fooled.
Yeah, they've been fooled. Yeah, definitely. And I'll be honest, I was talking to a Decoder one day, and I was asking him about sports and stuff. I was like, dang, I used to be a fan of this team, and they lost, and obviously I know it's rigged, but I'm having a hard time not putting my feelings aside and be like, yeah, just laugh it off that they lost. We know why they lost. So I think that's a big part of it too. Like I said, people don't want to be fooled. I'll talk to people about sports and stuff. Like, this is rigged. Told them about the Celtics are going to win on this day.
Yeah, like if you watched the Kansas City Chiefs game, how can you think that was real? Like, come on, a 4th and 17, and then they call a pass interference to bail out the Chiefs once again.
Yeah,
like, how can you think that that's real?
And it goes back to because then it goes back to they could just use the rest as scapegoats and not look at it like, dang, how does it could it be the ref's fault every single time? Like, how could it be the refs that are
yeah, and then on top of that, none of these refs are getting penalized. They're not getting fired.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're like, oh, the refs should get fired or they should get more refs. I said, y'all don't never say that. Y'all just go on to the next week and then the same thing keeps happening. So I don't understand that either. So, yeah, that was a big thing. Yeah, but when he brought that Kate Spade thing, I remember watching the video. Those two designers died the same exact way.
Think about the odds of that.
Yeah, you got to do some research on that. That was crazy when I found that out.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Like, yeah, a lot of these fucking sports games are fucking so obvious that they're rigging it, man. Like, he goes, oh, you don't have to pay attention to the sports games. You don't have, which is absolutely true. But what you have to understand, Joseph, if you're watching this, like I said while we was talking, they put a lot of their clues in these sports games. So a lot of things that's going to happen that are going to affect you and me, the clues are given to us with the sports games and the rappers and the musicians and the movies. They told us 9/11 was going to happen, but none of us was awake and none of us was paying attention. They put it all in the movies, all in the cartoons, in the music. So, it's like Kanye said, slavery is a choice. Because if we're telling you and you participate in it, and you chose to participate in it. So Kanye West was actually right. I'm going to end it there. I mean, God took a lot of energy, man. I tried, though. I tried to save another person, but, he wasn't trying to be saved. He wants to believe that God wanted LeBron James to win on the real King James' birthday. But thanks, everybody, for joining us. Hit the like, share the video. And, leave a comment for Joseph to read, because he's probably going to see this video and read the comments, because he likes to be in the comment section. So thanks everybody, and enjoy the rest of your week. Peace.